with Wentz has worked. I mean, they've given him all the rope they could possibly have given him, all the help they could possibly have given him, and nothing has clicked. So they're at the point now where they feel like they have to try this to spark. They're a game and a half out behind the Giants and Washington. So they haven't given up on the season yet. And they don't know exactly what the offseason holds in terms of decisions about Carson Wentz and their quarterback position moving forward. But with 4 games to go, they feel like they have to do something to try and light a spark under the team. And this is what they're going with this week against the Saints.
So the decision has been made. Ryan Clark, was it the right decision?
It was absolutely the right decision. I mean, the only thing scares me is when I think about Jalen Hurts playing against the New Orleans Saints, I keep envisioning James Brown singing "I Live in America" and Apollo Creed dancing around the ring right before he's about to play Ivan Drago. And it's like, we're all excited. You know, Rock is walking out, Rock is smiling, and then you realize, oh, hell, he really got killed. And, like, that's what makes me nervous about this start. But other than that, this is the right decision to make. When you look at where the Philadelphia Eagles were as an offense, as a team, they were descending. They were declining. Carson Wentz was playing worse and worse every week. And you could see it taking a toll on this team. And so now you insert Jalen Hurts against the Green Bay Packers. You get the offense going. He's moving inside and out of the pocket. There's some accurate throws downfield. The special teams makes a play. The defense makes a play. And you actually have an opportunity before Jalen Hurts is hitting the pocket late in that game to tie the score. And so I think that's what you're looking for if you're Doug Peterson and if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. So this was the call that he had to make. He made the right call in the Green Bay game, and he said something very smart. This week, I chose to go with Jalen Hurts, and I think this is week by week now, but it's the right decision for this week.
Can I just confirm the Rocky IV reference? You're saying that it was the right decision for Apollo to fight Drago even though he got killed in the ring?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying that's how I feel about him walking into the stadium to play against the New Orleans Saints. Like, we're all excited.
Sure.
That's the things up with all these details. We're coming down the thing.
I just need to make sure.
Yeah, Greeny.
It's so rare that I understand the references on Wednesdays that I want to make sure that I have this one right. Okay, Nick, did they make the right decision in Philly?
I think they absolutely made the right decision because, like Dan said early on, they've tried everything else. Right now, I don't think the decision they made is we're going to Jalen Hurts as much as the decision was we're going to give Carson Wentz a week to rest, a week to physically, mentally, emotionally take a break, and maybe he will come back refreshed and be better because I don't think the answer long-term here is going to be Jalen Hurts. But I do want to commend Doug Peterson on something because the last 3 weeks, I think it is, we had clips from Doug Peterson doing these ridiculous Pootie Tang press conferences where he says a bunch of noises but doesn't make any sense. And so I'm so proud that he came out here and just kept it real. He looked at us, we looked at him, we all saw Carson Wentz, and he said, Sadate, we got to move on, give it to Jalen Hurts. It made sense, finally. Got that
a more traditional reference. I don't understand it. Okay, Desmond, let me come to you here because you obviously cover the college game for us. So you've seen Jalen Hurts. You've seen a lot more Jalen Hurts probably than all the rest of us. What is your expectation for him if he gets the last quarter of this season?
The one thing that we understand and we know about Jalen Hurts is that he is a competitor. I mean, he's a team guy. He showed that when he was at Alabama and he got and Tua took his seat. And then when Tua was struggling against Georgia, he came in there and won the game for Alabama. So we know that he's a mobile quarterback, very strong, built like a running back, works out like a linebacker, but he can make some throws, he can take some hits, and he's smart. So the competitive nature in Jalen Hurts is going to, I think, help him succeed. Now, as they were talking about the boxing references and talking about Carson Wentz, I have a boxing reference for Dominique and RC too. See, Carson Wentz is Bootney Farnsworth, and the NFL, they're like for the street black. And what Carson Wentz lacked was confidence. So what Carson Wentz needs, he needs a Sidney Poitier to come in there and hypnotize him to get him back to where he used to be, so then he can go out there and compete. Because right now, for the street black is beating the hell out of Carson Wentz, who is Bootney Farnsworth.
Okay. That's exactly what I expected. All right, we will take a short thought on. We'll get back to the NFL, and we'll find out whether we think we've seen the last of Carson Wentz in Philadelphia as we continue. But let's now turn naturally to Michigan and Ohio State. The annual rivalry game has been canceled due to an increase in COVID cases within the Michigan program. Jalen
Hurts has the opportunity right now to take and make the Philadelphia Eagles his football team. 4 opportunities. 4. Okay? He can't enter the New Orleans Saints game being Carson Wentz, playing like Carson Wentz, turning the ball over like Carson Wentz. If he takes and does what he's capable of doing over these next 4 games, he then goes into 2021 in a quarterback battle with Carson Wentz. If for some reason he goes out there and he stubs his toe and he looks awful and he goes 1-3 and he has 9 turnovers in those 4 games and 3 fumbles and all, you can forget it. It's Carson Wentz's job. But if he goes out there and they go 3-1 and he does what he's supposed to do and he has them back looking good again, the offseason will be a quarterback battle. They will probably start Carson Wentz at the beginning of the season in 2021 with a quick hook, not waiting to week 11 and 12 to do it. Do it in like 1, 2, 3, much like the Nick Foles situation in Trubisky in Chicago. Do it quick. And that way you can now insert Jalen Hurts into the lineup full-time. You can get the money off the books. Carson Wentz becomes a backup. Then you figure out what to do with Carson Wentz at the end of the 2021 season. That is the way I've always seen it done in the National Football League. Unless it's changed now, that's what I'm anticipating. If he plays well, if he does not play well, Carson Wentz will be being the quarterback again.
Well, so the door isn't closed on Carson Wentz. The opportunity is still there, depending upon how he does in these next 4 games. So what if he goes 2-2 in these next 4 games and he plays decently? Right? Like, one of the things I do want to make sure that we make people aware of is that, look, the notion that Carson Wentz has been holding on to the ball a little bit longer, even though the offensive line has been decimated, Key, Jalen Hurts is still inheriting the same exact team, right? You want him to give a spark, but realistically, are you going to see that much of a crazy difference playing against the Saints and their defense?
Let me tell you something.
The Cardinals, Saints, the Cardinals, Cowboys, and then the Washington football team.
Let me just tell you something from firsthand experience, and I go into my own career. I was with the Jets in 1998. We had a guy named Glenn Foley that was our quarterback. We started off 0-2. Then we went to the Rams, and we lost that football game. Foley got hurt in between, whatever the case is. Foley was not playing well. There was a guy named Vinny Testaverde who was older, obviously experienced, on the sidelines. We made a decision to go with running the same plays, same offensive line, same everything. We made a decision to go with Vinny Testaverde, and we found ourselves in an AFC Championship game. That's to say that sometimes the way quarterbacks are playing will help the offensive line and other guys. If you're holding on to the ball, a lot of the times it looks as though it's the offensive line's fault. Or if you're dropping back and you're not dropping back in line, you're drifting. And then all of a sudden you're drifting into the left defensive end or the right defensive end that necessarily isn't going to sack you if you pushed into the pocket and climbed into the pocket like a lot of quarterbacks experts out there say. Oh, look at the quarterback climbing the pocket. You're drifting. You drift right into the defensive end. Now it looks as though the left tackle didn't do his job, or the right tackle didn't do his job, or the guard didn't do his job because you didn't do your job. Or it's things called coverage sacks where the receivers aren't separating.
Yeah.
And you're holding on to the ball too long instead of throwing it out of bounds. Or you panic and you throw the ball away too fast and it gets intercepted. All of those sort of things